Hello there. Once again, it is time to take another revealing peek back into history.
What famous date shall I set it to today?
Once again, it's time for Throwback Thursday, a second chance to look at some truly awful podcasts. No, wait, a second chance to see how far Vicis Interimo has come over the last 8 years. New episodes will be released pretty much weekly, but Thursdays I've reserved for throwbacks to see how far we've come. A lot of the information on here no longer applies, whether that be businesses or links that may not work anymore, so be advised of that. But again, I want to thank the patrons that we have at this time, though they may not have been here the first time these episodes were recorded. I am thanking them again because they're helping us move forward with our new episodes. And those are patrons such as At Lonely Bob, Big Al V, and Goldafish. In the meantime, I hope that you enjoy what you hear.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Whenever you're ready. Just say the word.
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 Oh, you said to say the word. The word.
The word. Vicis Interimo, 30 Minutes to Kill, a brief podcast about horror movie classics, cult favorites, and even new and unreleased movies. Let us help you kill some time. Hi, and welcome to episode number, 74?
70-something.
Yep, it's 74. A little bit late, but that's okay.
Late?
Well, yeah, it should have gone up yesterday, but
Oops.
You had lots and lots of studying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyhow.
Mega final this morning.
Yep, you're almost done. You're almost in the clear.
Almost.
Almost.
One more final to go.
Cool. Welcome to episode 47 of Vicis Interimo.
You said episode 47.
Wow.
Your dyslexia is coming out in your words.
Oh, jeez. Welcome
It's
to
okay.
episode 74.
Yay.
Vicis Interimo, 30 Minutes to Kill. I'm your host, Michael Mad Saxon Jones, with my lovely wife, Lori. Say hello, Lori.
Hello.
Today's movie is going to be Subspecies II. And
yes, Bloodstone.
Bloodstone, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
This time it doesn't look like a Glade air freshener like it did in the last one, huh?
Oh, the Bloodstone itself.
The Bloodstone itself, yeah.
No, they did a little work on it between the first movie and the second.
Yeah.
And it does, in fact, look better.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to do out of order a little bit this time. We're going to jump in and do our movie review. And I'm going to put the laid to rest after this because we had lots of things to cover from last week's show because we rushed through it so quick.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that I want to revisit, but if you didn't hear that other show, you probably don't care. Or maybe you want to go back and listen to it again and see what we're talking about. But we're going to do the movie review first. We'll then do our laid to rest, then garbage in, garbage out, and we'll just see where it goes from there.
Okay.
So having said that, we're going to take a brief pause, and then you're going to read us the synopsis.
Okay.
All right.
You talk too much.
From the the night, feasting on blood and the sins of our flesh. The heart of their power lies in the Bloodstone. Now, a woman who has tasted its nightmares must choose between death and damnation.
You are my fledgling. Embrace me as your master, and all that is mine will be yours.
Becky, I don't want to be like him.
What is your relationship to Miss Morgan?
She's my sister.
The vampire Radu is here in Bucharest, and your sister is his disciple.
Michelle, please, let me help you. Nothing can help me now.
Bloodstone was stolen from me. You're going to make an exceptional plaything.
Bloodstone, Subspecies II.
So what is the synopsis?
Well, let's see.
Yeah, you evidently don't talk enough, so.
Oh, man, I'm going to have problems. Oh, the brain is just, like, non-functional right now. All right. Subspecies II, Bloodstone. This one's from 1993.
Okay.
According to this. Rated R. When Transylvanian vampire Radu settles a dynastic rivalry by killing his brother, American student Michelle escapes the castle with a bite on her neck. And the Bloodstone, a mysterious relic crucial to Radu's survival. Radu chases the girl to Bucharest, where she seeks help and begins to sense her own emerging thirst for blood. Ted Nicolaou directs this horror flick, filmed on location in Romania.
Okay.
Hopefully I said Ted Nicolaou right.
Hopefully. That sums up the general gist of the story, I think.
Yes. We, of course, reviewed Subspecies a few months back.
Yep.
So we talked all about Radu and Stefan, his brother.
Right.
And how it starts out with Radu coming in on his father and his brother. Right?
Yep, and his
father is just, is he giving the Bloodstone to Stefan?
Yeah, he's about to present it to Stefan.
And of course, yes, and the brothers have different mothers, and Stefan is, of course, the good brother, and Radu is the oh-so-bad brother, with the evil sorceress mother.
Right.
So that's where the story started. And by the end of that one, we've got Stefan and his new American girlfriend, chopping off Radu's head.
Right.
So that's where this one begins.
Yeah.
Stefan, Michelle, asleep in coffins, Radu, laying on the ground, head a couple feet away from his body. So that's how we start.
Right. Okay. Well, with this one, that's one thing I was going to mention is it picks up right where that one left off, which I thought was great. The episode you were referring to was episode 59 that we did. Yeah, it's been a while.
That was a little while back.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this movie. I don't think it's, I'm not sure. It's one of those movies that I saw a long time ago or had seen a long time ago. It's held up pretty well. I liked it. What did you think of it?
I love these movies.
You do?
I do.
They're not.
I really enjoyed the first one immensely. This one, I liked it just as well.
Okay.
And it has to be Radu. It has to. He is so awesome. I love him. Even with all the drooling and the disgusting,
Well, I'm pretty sure that I mentioned it when we talked about it last time, but that was, Radu's character was definitely what stuck out in these movies for me and what I enjoyed. At that time, I had recently read the Anne Rice series with Lestat. And so Lestat was okay, but he struck me as being just a little bit too fancy or whatever.
Fancy.
Yeah. After reading that and then seeing this, I thought, yeah, if you're really going to be an evil vampire, you're not going to dress up and go out there and put on a rock show. You know, you're going to be in the dark, in the shadows, and it was perfect timing for me seeing that, and I enjoyed Radu's character, so.
Everybody's different.
This is true.
And Stefan, you know, he chose to live in the light, and he mingled with people, his brother.
Right.
He was more of but he didn't have the arrogance, of course, of Lestat.
Well, and he didn't have the unique mother that Radu had.
No, he didn't.
And that's one of the things that makes these films great for me, is I realize that the movies are made to make money.
Yes.
They're made for entertainment. But for me, with these full moon movies, it feels like they're made for me. They're made for the fans. They're made for... Feels like I can't talk now. It feels like...
It doesn't just feel like that.
Okay. It feels like the full moon movies are made for me, the fan, and they take the time, no matter how bad the rest of it may be, the poor production quality, in some cases, and sometimes it's exceptional considering the budget that they have.
Yeah. Well, and again, this movie, just like the first one, they went back to film in
Bucharest.
Well, that was
Romania. Transylvania. Pittsburgh, New Jersey. Albuquerque.
No.
Tahoe.
Okay.
New Zealand.
No. Stop. Like the first one, they went back to Romania to film, and that was something I loved about the first one. It was so authentic, and I was going to say you believed you were there. There's a reason for that. You were there. You know, the architecture, the people. Again, this one had the same feeling. You felt you were over there, and yeah, that was a really good aspect. So I don't know what their budget was like, but I don't know. These movies just they don't disappoint. They don't disappoint me at all in any way at all. Well,
having said that, I could see other people maybe feeling it was a bit slow. In certain parts, maybe it lagged.
So that means you think there were parts that were slow.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, because I wouldn't have said that about these movies.
Well, like I said, I could see other people saying they were slow. I'm enjoying it and into it, and so I'm prepared for it. I don't know. It's not a fast-paced action film like you're going to see out of today's movies, I guess is what I'm getting at, the point I'm getting at. It's...
Well, and I can see, likewise, I can see people just thinking, oh my gosh, lamest movie ever, stupid looking, whatever, dumb story. I mean, I could see all that. I don't know why these movies, I forgive all of that stuff. You know, movies don't always have to be perfect and super high budget, believable, everything. This one is done on a cheaper budget and maybe a little cheesy in places, but it's still very believable.
Right.
Like even, you know, some of the girls in the first movie, some of the acting wasn't great and everything, but just the feel, the environment, Radu, it's just, I don't know. It was believable.
Yeah.
I'm buying it.
I think so. That's the fun, I think, of the full moon movies, and I'm sure that Jay out there agrees. Jay from the full moon, or from the Lunar Cast, rather. I know he and Gray were going to be talking about the Subspecies movies, and certainly don't think we're stealing any of their thunder talking about this. But yeah, those movies, they're just so much fun. The production company. It's just a great place, it seems, to work. The movies that they put out in the early to mid-'90s, I think.
Yeah. And now, do you have any complaints about this movie?
No, I don't.
Okay, here's mine.
Okay.
Oh, no, you go first.
Well, no, all I was going to say was maybe a little bit slow in parts.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's debatable.
Yeah, not slow at all to me.
Okay.
At all. But, yeah, not slow. I disagree. My problem with this movie was sort of my problem with the first one. Subspecies?
Yeah.
Okay. You go, all right, it's a vampire movie. Radu, the villain, and the subspecies, what's going on there? The title is really kind of crazy and misleading.
Right.
Especially in this one, because the subspecies that it's referring to, of course, is the little minions.
Right.
I guess. The first one, they had several scenes.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, they had one.
Yeah.
And that was it. They were there in the opening scene, and I thought, oh my gosh, okay, there they are. They look a little better in this movie. They worked on them a little better. The effect looked better. You never see them again through the whole entire movie. But it doesn't need them.
Yeah.
I can still forgive that. My problem is maybe just with the title. I think it should be called Radu. There you go. That would be an awesome title for this.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they were cashing in on what they had before, and that's why they stuck with it, of course. But
yeah, so that's kind of silly, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they fit into the next two movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw these so long ago and under probably strange circumstances. I don't remember a whole lot about them, so I've been really enjoying revisiting them, and I've really enjoyed them, and I'm excited to watch number 3.
Okay. If I had another complaint, a technical complaint, it would be that long fingers never quite look right for me.
No.
And they haven't quite mastered those yet, and they could maybe avoid them. Radu's fingers in this are just ridiculous. I mean, I get what they're going for, kind of the Max Schreck thing, Nosferatu, but...
We complained about this in the first one.
Yeah.
And now, do you agree they looked at least better this time?
They did look better. Better, but it's also, I can't help but notice the way he has to pick things up because of his fingers and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a minor complaint.
Yeah, and I can still just totally forgive that. I don't know why.
Okay. Another thing that I really did enjoy in this film, and that's the use of shadows. And I'm not sure if I'd mentioned that before, but that's probably come up because I really, for whatever reason, I just dig that effect. And they did that a lot where they show Radu moving through the darkness and what have you. And do we need to cover more of the movie, or was it?
Well, I was going to ask you that. The plot line was relatively simple.
Mm-hmm.
Because it starts out, I don't think it's any big surprise. I don't know. Stefan doesn't really factor into this movie very much.
Right.
But basically, our American heroine here wakes up and Radu's going to kill her and everything, and circumstances happen, this and that. She gets away, and she's got the Bloodstone with her, which, of course, that's the whole point of the movie. So it's pretty much him trying to find her and get the Bloodstone back, and she calls her sister from America, who flies right over. I'll jump on the first plane to Bucharest as I can, and so her sister shows up. So it's basically the two sisters dealing with one of them being a vampire now and running from Radu and just trying to deal with that issue. So a pretty simple storyline, really.
Right. What I did like was it picked up another plot point from the first movie, and that's Radu's mother.
Yes. I was going to say there was an addition to this one because his mother you could finally get to see her.
Right. And I like that because initially when you watch Subspecies, it's just casually mentioned that he had a different mother and that she was a sorceress. In this one, well, she's still around and you get to meet her. So that was, I enjoyed those scenes a lot.
Did you?
And the
she was scary.
The person that got to play her, I thought did an excellent job.
Yes. And, of course, we noticed right away that the actress who played Michelle, the main girl in the first movie, they have a different actress playing her in the second movie. Sometimes that's really bothersome to me. It bothered me at first because she looks totally different. I wanted to see her at least trying to make her look a little more like the original girl.
Right.
But I got over it after about a half hour or so, and I looked forward here to the next couple movies, and this actress from number 2, she returns to continue to play Michelle, so I can deal with that.
Okay.
I can deal with that.
I think so, and I thought she did a fine job. The acting was maybe... acting was okay, I think, on her part.
It's never super great, but it's not, they weren't going out for an Oscar or anything.
Right.
So I think everybody did a good job, and it's just a fun movie, and I always love watching the extras. We watched the extras on the first movie, and we watched them on this one, too, and it just looks like they have so much fun filming these, and, they show the background, the history of the land and of Romania, and it's just cool. I don't know. I just love the feeling of the whole experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what would you give this one?
Well, absolutely a strong 8.
Okay.
I would almost go higher, but I don't want to mislead people.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered maybe the shortcomings or what other people might see as shortcomings. I'm going to agree, and I'm going to say an 8 also.
Okay.
Yeah. So was there anything else specifically you wanted to cover about this one?
Oh, I was going to talk about the shadows as well. You touched on that. But that is absolutely the best effect they have up their sleeve, and they used it a lot in this movie.
Right.
So, it's dark, it's nighttime, there's a bright street light or something on, and you see a super creepy shadow, long fingers, crazy, and the shadow's all skulking out. But then, here comes Radu just kind of casually walking out.
Right.
So it's like, why is his shadow doing something totally different than he is? So that's a really cool effect for me. Super effective. I love it.
Yeah.
And you get to experience it a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
Cool. Well, the third one just came in the mail today with Netflix.
Hey, let's watch it when we're done here.
We've got a couple of things to take care of, but yes, I want to get on that soon.
Yes.
And that'll probably be the next podcast.
Cool beans.
All right.
Radu.
We're going to move on now, and we'll do our laid to rest.
Okay.
All right.
And again, what is that girl's problem? I would so just be Radu's fledgling. I don't care.
Oh.
I could call him master.
We have to have a talk after this is over.
No. He's not so bad.
In 1989, Charles Band started a film company called Full Moon. Full Moon opened its doors with Puppet Master, a film series that would become a huge hit amongst B-movie fans. In 1989, a boy, age 12, walked into a video store and saw the poster for that very film. And from that day on, he was a fan. Full Moon has produced over 270 films, and I want to talk about them all. Starting at the beginning, I intend to work my way through Full Moon's catalog, one film at a time. Join me here at the Lunarcast each week as I give thoughts, facts, and reviews on the movies Full Moon has to offer. We'll also try to keep you updated on all the happenings that are going on over at the Full Moon website. We'll keep you up to date with new releases and inform you of sales and special events that might be taking place. For more information, you can go to www.pennycult.com or subscribe on iTunes. Just look for the Lunarcast. This is going to be one dark, twisted journey. So why not hop on and take the ride along with me? Lunarcast. Look for it each week.
So, for laid to rest, is there anything that we rushed through last week's episode because you weren't feeling well and you had tests to study for, but was there anything that you specifically wanted to cover that we didn't get to last week? Because I've got a couple of topics and we'll get into those in a second, but...
This is really sad. What did we...
Session 9 is what we did last.
Session 9. I liked Session 9
yes, we did.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate I was so sick when we did that podcast.
Right.
I didn't sound too bad, actually, in it, but I don't really remember doing the podcast. I don't think there was anything else to add as far as I can remember. Did you have something?
Well, I had a couple of things. One of them was that impending sense of dread, which came up in the movie that we talked about for Session 9. That got me thinking, and for whatever reason, I wanted to experience more of that.
Okay.
So while you were studying at the library and such, I was listening to The Ruins. The book, not the movie. A terrible movie, an excellent book, and an interesting example, yet again, where what you read or listen to from the printed page can be much more frightening and scary than something you actually watch and see. If you've seen The Ruins, you know what I'm talking about as far as maybe it worked for other people. I mean, they kind of watered it down and made it a PG-13 movie.
It was?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not.
Because that was kind of a gnarly scene there. The girl, cutting her leg skin off, or whatever she was doing.
Maybe. But as far as the rest of it, there were just so many things in that movie that didn't work for me, and it didn't feel right. But listening to it, the premise of the movie is more believable, I think.
Right. Well, the movie came off as a quick buck, a movie to entice, teenagers and whatever to come and watch a horror movie.
Right.
I mean, it didn't spend a lot of time with the story or...
Well, I looked it up, and yes, it was actually rated R. It was 90 minutes, and it was rated R.
Okay, I was going to say that was a little intense for PG-13.
But it doesn't come close to what's happening in the book. I think within the first half hour of the book, you're there on the, hold on, I got this, the ziggurat.
Yes.
That they're on. And where they become trapped when they're down there in Mexico, and the story takes a little bit longer to play out, but if you saw the movie and thought it was lame, or you haven't, and still for whatever reason had an interest in seeing it, try to skip it and check out the book, because it's a lot better.
Okay.
Lot better than the movie, yeah. That was one thing that I wanted to mention. Another thing, we talked about year one, and we talked about the deplorable state of comedy, in my opinion.
Yes.
The thing that actually started me off on that was I picked up from the library What the Hell Happened to Me by Adam Sandler.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, there's bound to be some funny clips I can mine out of this and, put in the podcast or whatever. It was lame. I can't believe, and I know this is a few years back, but it was just so bad. He does a 5-minute routine on an old Jewish mother, I guess, saying and and it's like, really? That's what you felt was funny enough to put on an album?
Yeah.
It just...
What's the name of the album?
What the Hell Happened to Me? And I think
that's appropriate.
I think that's appropriate then, maybe.
He can be really funny.
He can, but like I said, I was expecting and I was hoping for a little bit more, and I was sadly disappointed.
You expected too much.
I guess maybe I did. But
now, why did you check it out? What drew you to that?
Well, it was Adam Sandler. I enjoy his movies. I think a lot of the things that he's acted in have been witty and clever. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't love the Hanukkah song? There's a couple of others.
So it was on there?
Yes, that was on there.
Okay.
I think my piece of car was on there too.
Okay. Well, I'm betting that the Hanukkah song probably made a ton of people go out and buy that.
I bet they were mighty disappointed when they heard the rest of the album then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
too bad. He's done some really good, I mean, he's really turned into a good actor.
Yeah, he has. And more than just comedies and stuff, so that's it. But anyhow, I brought that up, and that's what got me thinking about how comedies suck and generally.
Okay.
I'm kind of wandering all over the place. Maybe I'm going to edit some of this down.
Reel it back in. We
didn't talk about the fact, and this is going to be moving into garbage in, garbage out. Oh, actually, one other thing about the Ninja Assassin. I know Big Brian had made a comment on the Vicis Interimo Facebook page, and he said that he had seen Ninja Assassin at the midnight showing, and the theater was full, and just before the previews, a bunch of guys rolled up in full ninja uniforms. They must have been from a nearby martial arts school. It had everything right down to the shoes. He said they left after about an hour of the show.
Oh, no.
Which, I mean, what the heck? I mean, what were you expecting to see? It was, for me, like I said, a perfect movie. It did everything that I wanted it to. It entertained me. There were even some flaws for me to pick at. The best thing, like I said last week, that maybe was a bit of a paradox to say that it's a perfect 10, but then it had flaws. But if you think...
Yeah, what's up with that?
Okay, think about a band. Queen, best band ever.
Okay.
But I don't like every single song that they did. But the fact that they did great music, you know, like the flaws need to be there to compare the rest of it to.
Okay.
Did I just completely lose it on that one? I don't know.
Does
that make any sense?
Sort of. I get the band thing.
When I say it's perfect, it's perfect. It did what I wanted. It entertained me. And, you know, that's what
Did it have flaws?
There were things to pick apart if I wanted to, but I was so entertained.
10 then,
silly. But it is a 10.
No.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Moving on. What did you think of Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
It was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, and I didn't hate it.
I'm laughing because, that sums it up for me. It was just missing a little something. I do wish that we had seen it on the big screen, though.
Yeah.
Because I think the crazy special effects would have been
I'm just still not quite sure about the concept.
No?
I mean, I know everybody went nuts over the concept and, like, what a cool, fun idea, which it was. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It was just okay. I love Michael Cera. We talked about that last week because we just watched him in year one, right? But, yeah, I don't know. It didn't have much of a story aside from boy meets girl, boy must fight and win all of girls' exes.
Right.
And aside from that, I don't know.
Okay.
But the point was all the fun fight scenes and the just silliness. So.
And there was plenty of, exactly. There were plenty of things in there to get. I love the villains turning to coins.
Right. There was a lot of fun video game references that I enjoyed. So, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't, I mean, I've heard people going crazy over it and thinking it was like, wow, oh my gosh, you haven't seen that yet. But, it was okay.
Okay. Well, we're nearing our 30-minute mark, so let's try to keep it close to that. Was there anything else you wanted to cover? I know I don't know about you, but I was going to say you were in a bit of a rage, weren't you, because we just saw the Fright Night trailer. You actually need to watch that. I just told you that there was one out there. I'd heard somebody else talk about it too.
One of my favorite older horror movies is Fright Night.
Yeah.
A lot of people know that. People close to me know that. My very good friend Vernon used to put it on every time I came over to the house because he knew it would just make me so happy. Yeah. I love Fright Night. They're remaking it. That doesn't make me happy. And then you told me they're actually redoing the whole original story.
Well, it seems like it. I don't know. I just looked at the trailer, so maybe that was misleading. Trailers often are.
Yeah.
But it's got Toni Collette in it, though.
I know, and that's what's bumming me out, too, because I love Toni Collette, and if she's in it, I'm watching it. no matter what kind of movie it is. If she's in it, I'm there, and I have to watch it. I would probably have to watch this one anyway to see what they did to it.
Yeah.
I just really wish, I don't know.
Yeah.
Leave the perfect things alone. Just stop having to recycle everything and redo everything.
And put it in 3D.
Yeah, and like I said, if they wanted a 3D Fright Night movie, re-release the original. Digitally remaster, fix the sound, put some 3D in there. Oh my gosh.
How much fun would that be?
Oh, that would be just such a happy day for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally remaking it, no. I don't think that's necessary. There better be a really good reason for that.
Okay.
Stop messing with my movies.
What else did you have to cover before we end this episode?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, we've got hopefully some exciting things in the works. I mean, we've got some things in the work. Hopefully they'll be exciting for you. We're going to try to maybe invite another podcaster or two to join us again soon. And we're going to be covering some movies that kind of got pushed back. I know we were going to do Case 39.
Yeah.
And we had a couple other ones, but since Subspecies is here right now, we're going to do those. And again, if you want more on full moon movies, absolutely listen to the Lunar Cast. Listen to Jay as he covers all of the full moon catalog, as well as the other Charles Band pictures.
And you'll get a much better detailed discussion of them because, of course, us in our 30 Minutes to Kill, we just sort of touch on movies. And I know that's some people's complaint with our show, but
it's our
we
show.
only have a half hour. You know what? The people who love our show because it's only a half hour and we do just touch on movies and we don't give away everything, you know, a lot of people like it because of that. So,
well, and we thank you folks for listening. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You can get,
and I can't wait till they start talking about the Subspecies movies because I'm going to be listening.
Cool.
Yes, I want more detail. Talk about Radu.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks to you for listening, and thank you for joining me, Lori. And we'll see you folks next week for episode 75.
I'm not saying anything.
All right.
I never know what to say. I could say, yeah, join us.
You just did. I haven't stopped recording yet, so.
Oh, no. Great. Name of the girl who played Michelle.
That's all right. You go ahead and do that. I'm going to do a little bit more editing on the podcast this week than I did last week, so feel free to leave some space in there.
Okay.
I'll sip on my hot chocolate. And
we're just having a conversation, though. That was awful.
It's delicious.
Well, I didn't mean the hot chocolate was awful.
What's awful then?
You're slurping and you're swishing.
But it's so tasty.
This says Subspecies, a.k.a. Subspecies in the Twilight. And that's number 4.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the 4th one, so.
No, it's next in our queue. I'm having trouble finding. Yeah, I think it just has a different, yeah, this isn't right. Do you remember how to pronounce Radu's?
I do not.
Shoot. Sucks. Michelle. Wait, Mara. Okay, here we go. Michelle Laura Tate. In this one, Michelle is played by Denice Duff. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I knew it was absolutely a different girl.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, you know, you spaz out and...
Well, it could be a year between the actress doing it and maybe she looks different or has had work done.
Number 3 has Denice Duff again. That's what I said for number 2, right?
Yeah,
the first one was somebody Tate.
Yeah.
And Denice Duff again in the 4th one.
Cool.
That's good.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Whenever you're ready. Just say the word.
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 Oh, you said to say the word. The word.
The word.